Hey, this is Nisila. I just wanted to quickly show you a project that I did a few months back. So I developed a backend web framework using PHP. So it's called Motions PHP, and I just wanted to quickly show you how it works. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a new project, and I'm going to open it up in VS Code. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use the command line tool in order to initialize a project in Motions PHP. So all you have to do is go into your terminal and just type more ask init and then the name of your project. So I'm just going to call it my first app and then hit enter and it will initialize the project. So what this will basically do is it will grab the project in my GitHub and it will copy all the files into your local directory. Yeah, and it's done. So the project is initialized. So now I'm going to cd into the my first step folder, and then I'm going to run more ask run. So this will basically run the whole project and it will open up a development server. So and you can just click on it and it will take you to the welcome page. Yeah, that's how you create a project in Motions PHP using the command line tool. Okay, then let's create a root. Now you're just going to type router and then the method of the root. I'm just going to create a get root and I'm just going to call it new. Then here you actually have two options. You can either pass in an anonymous function or you can use a controller function to handle all the requests that are coming to this particular route. So for now, I'm just going to use an anonymous function. So I'm just going to return an array. So it will contain a message and the message will say, hi, welcome to Motions PHP. Now this will automatically convert this array into a JSON structure. So you don't have to explicitly set the content type. And yeah, so you just have to return whatever that you want to send as the response and it will automatically configure and set the content types. So yeah, now let's check this out. Yeah, and it's type slash new and it is working. So this is the message that we sent. And now let's see how we can do the same thing, but this time using a controller. So first off, you have to create a controller. For that, you can use the Motions CLI tool. So just go to your terminal and type more ask controller colon make and then the name of the controller. So this will basically create a controller and it will also include it in the necessary files. So you don't have to do that any of that manually. Yeah, and then if you go to the controllers folder, you can see the new controller that we created. So yeah, now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna copy paste the code that was in the anonymous function. You're gonna put it here, and then in the roots file, we're gonna get rid of the anonymous function, and instead we're gonna pass in an array. And as the first item, we're just gonna pass the controller class. So the controller I made was test controller, and then the method or the function name that is going to handle the requests that are coming to this root. Now if we check this, it's going to work. So yeah, it works. So now I want to talk a little bit about the error logging feature that is in the framework. So if you take a look at the request parameter that is in here, this actually contains information about the current request that was made to the server. So you can basically access the query parameters, request headers, and request body of the request by using this parameter. So yeah, so here I'm just gonna access the query parameters of the request and basically look for a parameter called name. And if it is there, I'm gonna take the value, and if it is not there, I'm just gonna assign null to the variable. And then I'm going to check if the variable is null, and if so, I'm gonna throw an exception so that you can see the error login feature. Okay, now if we go to our browser, and first I'm gonna just make the request with the query parameter. And so yeah, we have name with Nisela. But now if I get rid of the parameter, here's the error log, which you can see. So this is the message. So the message that we passed in, name cannot be null. And now then you can see the line number, the path or the file which the error was exception was thrown in, and you can see this stack trace. I'm gonna improve this, and I'm also planning on adding a file preview feature where you can see the actual code or the lines. Yeah, so that's the error login feature. What I have here is I have a host root. So what this basically does is it will take a look at the request headers, and if the authorization header is present, it will just send a JSON object, and if it is not present, it will send an unauthorized object or response. I want to create a middleware and move all this logic into that, and for that I'm gonna just create a middleware, and I'm gonna use the CLI tool for that. You just have to say more ask middleware colon make and the name of the middleware. I'm going to call it authorization middleware, and, yeah, and the middleware is created. So if we go to the middleware file, you can see that there are two methods here. The first one is handle incoming, and the second one is handle outgoing. So since this is a authorization process, I'm going to use the handle incoming method. So I'm just going to copy and paste the code that was in the previous function. So now I'm gonna create another post route so that I can use the middleware in both of these routes, and I'm gonna add the middleware to both of these routes. So for that, just have to say middleware and then pass in the name of the middleware. So my middleware was authorization middleware, so I'm going to say authorization middleware. And now if we check the route without the authorization header, you can see that it is giving us an unauthorized response. You can see the status code. And now if I add the authorization header, we are getting the required message. That's the framework that I built, and it took me 2 to 3 weeks to build all of this, including the CLI tool. And when developing this, I took heavy inspiration from a popular PHP framework called Laravel, and I also looked at some other frameworks as well. So this is purely an educational project that I did to improve my knowledge about backend frameworks and how those frameworks work. And I'm going to keep improving this and add more advanced features. And I'm also going to deploy the command line tool so that any one of you can use it and kind of give me your feedback and suggestions. I would highly appreciate it if you can do that. And yeah, thanks for watching.